What is up? The gang is all together. Welcome back, Ken.
Yeah. I got out there today.
You did. Got out there. Amen for that. Still cold AF out there. You know what we need to do. Now it's time for the Weather Wizards Snowpocalypse 2026 update.
Tell us about the snow, Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, so are we in agreement? We're going to call it the Chapped Ass Report?
Chapped Ass Report. There's going to be a new one tomorrow. We're going to Chapped Ass Report. It's cold AF.
No, you should tag it with, how are your buns feeling?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
All right, let's talk about the power. How much power we got going on?
We still got about 200,000 Middle Tennesseans without electricity. They are making progress, slow but steady. And, they're not blowing smoke up anybody's you-know-what. I mean, they're saying the restoration is going to last through the weekend before everybody is actually back online. And they're not giving a timeline for when everybody will be back online. They're just saying, especially Nashville Electric Service is saying this is going to take through the weekend.
So NES is being accused, I'm sure you've seen this, of understaffing.
Oh, I saw a headline.
So MTE.
There's a shock.
MTE, they had 467 line workers. They had 8,000 outages. And NES had 175,000 outages, and they had 300 line workers.
Mm.
That seems a little light.
Yeah, I think they've jumped up to 700
Yeah,
now.
they said as of today they've moved up a little bit. And again, I'm not blaming the line workers, but I think there's a question to be asked. Did you underestimate, or could you get nobody else? Everybody else had already been hired out or whatever. I don't,
I would say it's probably NES incompetence.
Yeah, I think we know what Bell's hot take's going to be today. Just to let you guys know that.
I think we've already got a taste.
His hot take is going to be 3 hours of disdain for NES. Just let you guys know that. So my son's mom, one of her best friends lives in Brentwood, and she finally got power on today. She couldn't even get out of her house. And the people who own the little the market across the street from her house, today was the first day they've opened, and it said, they finally got power on today. It's a nightmare out there.
Yeah.
And that ice, I drove today, that walk home, first of all, I almost ate when I left here yesterday out of the stairs, right? Because it was just insane. And then the everywhere is frozen. And it's like ice skating. You have to shuffle.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if you're, 60, 70, 75 years old and you fall, not only is it your hip, it's your head, like you said.
Yeah, man, hitting your head on that is the danger. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I sent you a Instagram video where these two hardcore joggers in somewhere were talking about how the conditions were just perfect for some ice running out for a jog. And so the lady, so they take off down on their way, jogging down the road. They may have gotten 100 feet away, and the lady plants and hits the back of her head in the street. I guarantee you they ended up going to the hospital that night.
Well, you know what? It's also a good time to go to the hospital. Just let you know that.
Yeah.
It's a good time for a jog and a hospital trip.
Yeah, but you're right, man. I mean, it's treacherous out there on those sidewalks, dude, and it does not take much. I mean, you can be walking as slow as molasses and still slip.
Yes.
It's how dangerous it is. Just be careful out there.
And the thing is, you think you're stepping on, this just looks like snow that's starting to melt, and then it's just pure ice.
Yes, sir.
And away you go. And that's all it takes. So I told my wife, I said, I'm driving today because I said the roads, oddly enough, they're dry pretty much.
Yes.
I said, but the sidewalks, especially when it gets no shade, is not good.
Yeah.
It's no bueno.
Yeah. I tell you what else is no bueno. Folks, clean the ice from your hoods and your roofs before you hit the interstate. You are turning into missile launchers if you do not clear that ice off your car, truck, or van's hood and roof.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, I saw it all the way up here from Murfreesboro on I-24.
And those big chunks that fall off,
They will go right through a windshield.
But it's interesting because I pulled in right next to Ken, and I'm like, it's Ken's car. He doesn't care if I hit it. So I pulled right in, and you're everything, your front, your grill, the whole nine. Still has icicles on it.
It's just ice.
It looks like the snow miser.
And so do I.
Yes, you
with
do.
my long white beard.
Yeah, it is. Just be careful. And still, the other thing, I'm telling everybody, we're getting more deaths. There's more reported. There's a lot of, check on that neighbor, call that person, because people, we had several people across the country have already died of hypothermia, and a lot of that probably could have been avoided.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about here, man. I mean, we're this is 3 days since the storm.
Yes.
Well, I guess Sunday is when. Yeah, 3 days. And you said, Brother Chad, you were without electricity for about 16 hours.
Yes.
And it got down to 53 degrees in your apartment. If you think about a house out there, or a small house, or maybe a mobile home with nothing around it.
No insulation.
No
none of
insulation, man. I mean, there's some people out there in danger.
And they're living, a lot of those people they're living really at the line, paycheck to paycheck,
Yes,
fixed income. And that's also where they get themselves in trouble, where they're like, I'll just burn a little fire inside.
If you do end up needing to call 911 for some reason, just realize you're going to have a nice wait.
Yeah. So
Because
that's also
apparently
the other thing.
the city understaffed 911 going into an emergency.
Yeah. I mean, that's, go. Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
That's okay. I had to call on Sunday. I had a 10-minute wait on 911. And thank God I wasn't calling because somebody had been injured or was bleeding out or
Yes, sir.
whatever the case may be. But it's just, that's absolutely unacceptable that we would be so understaffed that it would be a 10-minute wait to get to 911.
It's
Mother Nature, man.
It is. Mess you up. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Well, we know that. And going into this storm, they should have made arrangements to have more 911
yeah, I was
operators.
surprised. I wonder what the police and fire, how, it was everybody on duty. Did they tell everybody, look, you're not getting a day off, or, we'll have to make it up to you? And because of, just what, like you said, what you could expect, this was going to be very, very busy. And like you were saying earlier, they had that guy shoveling snow, and he ended up, having a heart attack or something.
66 years old.
Oh.
Had a heart attack shoveling snow.
Yeah. See, look, guys, first of all, shoveling snow, you can buy a flamethrower on Amazon. There is no reason to ever shovel snow. Remember when Tesla had their flamethrower?
Yeah.
That thing was awesome.
It was.
I tried to buy one, and they sold out, and I tried to buy them again, and I got, because everybody wanted one. They're just so cool. Because first of all, you cut grass with it, you do the whole 9 yards, but that thing's, and again, I'm in Arizona, like I need one when I was out there. Like, what am I going to do with one of these? But don't shovel snow. Like, unless you're young, fit, and healthy, there's no reason to. Especially the slippery out there. I worry about that because I'm sitting up there, looking down at, people trying to walk on the ice as they take their dogs out in the front. And I'm like, geez. And the dogs aren't happy, by the way. I think we can all admit that. Finally, your little dude did something.
Yeah, little fella. Fritz said he broke his own record. He went 29 hours without going to the bathroom yesterday.
Whoa.
And now he's working on a new record.
Fantastic.
Apparently, it got so much that he just, he did his business. Well, now he's back to not doing his business again, and we'll see how long it goes today.
It's all that cheese you feed him.
That's right.
Man, we do not deviate from the food we give that dog, because if we do, it's like a fire. His butt becomes a fire hose.
Oh, that's not
and
good.
It is terrible.
That's not good.
It's terrible.
Yeah, our dogs were not. They're just, no, that's the best thing I could tell you, Chad. They look at me and say, I'm gonna poop right here on the concrete in front of the dog park because there's snow, and I don't want to touch that because that's silly. That's not sand. I'm a sand dog, right? I'm a sand dog, and I do sand dog stuff. This is not sand dog. I jump in pools. I don't go in frozen water.
I'm telling you, man, Fritz is the best dog we've ever had. That dog will not go in the house. He just won't do it. And I appreciate the little fella for it.
You know what?
I
That's
gave him a
awesome.
little treat for it.
See, what's his treat of choice?
Just these little milk bones, little milk bone biscuits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our. I think sometimes because our dogs get a treat after they go out and go to the bathroom, and we got to take them out and do the whole 9 yards, and so they know, like Bowie knows, I want a treat, so I got to pretend even if I don't have to go, so I can come back up and get a treat. I got to pretend.
Sally texted in that she called 911 about a down power line that was causing fires. She waited for 20 minutes and hung up. And they did call her back, though, 9 hours later.
Yeah.
The
Well,
city's got some explaining to do.
well, and they're probably, I mean, they're under, like, I've seen the 911 shows. The only person that ever works in there is that girl. What's her name?
But we knew this was coming.
Yeah, we knew.
This is not like we got surprised.
That's the thing right there.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, and I feel like, although somebody said Smyrna PD was fully staffed, but Metro PD, who they used to work for, they said is notorious for being understaffed, especially on crappy days. We knew it was coming, right? Like, that's the thing. You know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You should be prepared in a way where you've got everybody, all hands on deck. If you don't need all hands, cut them loose. But if you do, it's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yes, sir.
So, no doubt about that. Let's see here. That's currently my dog's is coming out like lava.
Oh, goodness.
Hates the rain, loves the snow. Loves the snow. Loves it. I mean, it's again, because now we've got another one coming in this weekend. The good news
man.
is we have there's no weather with it. It's just cold. But what's it do? This stuff isn't going to thaw out by the weekend because it's not getting very warm. So it's going to continue to freeze through next week.
Yeah, I mean, what today is, we definitely need a day like today. We need full-on sunshine.
Yes.
Because no matter how cold it is, anything in the sun will start to melt. But that's becomes the issue right about 4 o'clock in the afternoon this time of year. The sun is low, and we're no longer getting those direct rays, and everything refreezes.
Yeah.
And something else to think about. We talked about this yesterday. What's happening today with all this melt is everybody's weather leaf filters or leaf gutters are filling up with water because they're probably clogged with ice. So your gutters are filling up with water. They're starting to spill over. And if you look up, I bet you'll see some massive icicles forming from the water coming out of your gutters.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Be careful of that.
And we're going to have Busy Bee coming over because now our heater's not working, our HVAC's not working.
Oh, wonderful.
And so yesterday, like when we woke up, it was down in the low 60s again. So my wife had to have the oven on and open to warm the house up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because as you women know, you're always cold.
Yeah.
You're always cold. For whatever reason, you're always cold. So it's been a few days. There's no doubt about that. So craziness, chaos, a lot of stuff to get to today. We'll talk a little bit about Minnesota. Obviously, the lawsuits, and you were just talking about TikTok already settled.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
TikTok, I got a bone to pick with you. We're going to do that coming up in a little bit. On top of that, we'll talk a little bit about that big lawsuit. I mean, this is the first time this thing is going to court, and the significance of this cannot be understated when you think about it. Not everybody smoked, but everybody's been on the interwebs, and everybody, for the most part, has been on social media. So this thing is huge. We'll talk about that. We got, of course, your Hot Take Tuesday. We know what Bell's is going to be. We'll find out what Ken's is going to be. All that, so much more straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital, a few days from now, right? Thursday, it's 29th. Are you ready for this? Boom, baby. It is their New Year Reset webinar. My buddy Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer of Bulwark, is going to lead this. It is incredible what they do, what they talk about, and how they're going to show you how they're investing for your 401k, your retirement, your investments, and what it is they do that separates them from so many other people. Absolutely free. They're going to talk about, is there a pop coming when it comes to, things like the tech world, AI. They're going to show you what it is they do, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. How do they get the most upside potential through their fundamentals and the way that they look at investing? That is, a global look rather than just, I only put it in the market here. Absolutely free, 5:30 our time from Bulwark Capital. To sign up and get the absolutely free webinar access, go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOWriskpodcast.com. For our friends over at Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 2605. The Wellness Institute of Nashville is ready to get your back, get you feeling better than ever before. The 2026 is here. Right now, 47% off non-surgical decompression for the new year. That's going to get you rock and roll. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley are going to take care of you. One of the things they do, besides all their knowledge, is they're so much further ahead when it comes to all things, right? When it comes to equipment and new technology. Right now, the new HydroWave is there. They're the only ones in the state that have it, the only office that have it. Nobody else has it. And it's amazing, okay? So this stimulates your own stem cells, right, in your body, regenerates tissue to grow new blood vessels for healing through a process called angiogenesis. It is incredible. So bring your MRI, get yourself over there, save 47% right now. Go see the people I trust with my back and my body. That is the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them today, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, 246-5009, or painisbad.com.
Power remains the top issue for West and Middle Tennesseans. As many as 200,000 still without electricity here in Middle Tennessee. And major tech companies like Meta and YouTube facing a lawsuit from a user who says she became addicted to social media at a young age. A couple of these companies have already settled. Details coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
This portion of the program is brought to you by... Powered by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. You guys know what time it is. Hot Take Tuesday. Hot Take Tuesday. Let's, for a surprise, I'm going to close my eyes and say, Belle, what do you have for us? Here we go.
All right, I'm going to try to keep my temper under control while I talk about this. But my hot take is whoever the individual is at NES that prioritizes repairs is an absolute moron. Because I've got a downed live wire laying over my car with a lot of branches that are covering it up. And I've been told that it's not a priority. Today, I had somebody see the big mess in front of my yard and come to my front door, push past the car and the branches, not realizing, because it's pretty much disguised, that if he had touched the car, he would have been dead. And he started to walk away, and I'm like, whoa, dude, don't go. There's a live line over there. You know, and I pushed him the other direction, but I've been told that the down line is not a priority because it goes from the street to the house. But if this guy had electrocuted himself, NES would have been like, oh, sorry. So NES, KMA.
Oh, goodness me. En fuego bear. All right, Ken, what do you have for us?
If your car sheds ice chunks on the highway, you're not a driver. You're a missile launcher. Clean your roof or accept that you're the reason someone behind you now needs a new windshield, possibly a change of underwear, too.
Oh, wow. I can't believe, could you believe that flies right into your underwear? Oh, my God, it cracked my grundle.
People just don't think about the damage something like that.
No, they don't. They don't.
I'm telling you, man, it'll go right through a windshield.
Yeah, it will. It's crazy. You got to be careful. Again, people don't. It's the thinking part. It's totally. My hot take today is TikTok. Don't BS me. Don't lie to me. Don't play the games. We know you guys are full of crap. Okay.
Hey, take your shadow ban and enjoy it.
If you haven't seen, Ken, I don't know if yours has changed.
What's up?
All of my TikToks change. They won't let me post certain videos. Right.
Really?
So if you're critical of Trump or DHS or Israel or say anything about Epstein or any of that stuff, it ain't happening.
Really?
I've got videos that I've posted, 0 views. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's just because we switched over and because power outages. Yeah, shut up. Nobody buys it. Nobody does. And several states now are going, oh, there's a question here that we need to look into this. And they're like, no, we're fixing it. It's not just me, by the way. The biggest, I'm talking about people who have several million followers have no views at all on some of their stuff. And it's the same kind of stuff. Oh, could the administration have put some pressure on Ellison and them? Hey, make sure that all the things that are said are very good.
Oh, now, Chad, that never happened.
Maybe Elon should have bought it.
Yeah. The new algorithm sucks. That's also true, too. That's the other part of it. The algorithm sucks. The new one, it's like my For You page has completely changed. I went from watching the guy, have you seen? I sent it to you guys. This guy dresses up in all kinds of outfits, and then he goes out and he fights his sheep, has him run at him, his goats or whatever. And yesterday he was in a dinosaur outfit, and that thing crushed him. And then he got in one of those big balls you roll around in, and they were thumping him everywhere. Then he tried to pole vault, and the thing cut him off at the legs. Oh, it's brutal. So, but my new thing, it's just, don't tell me, don't lie to me at all. We know what's going on TikTok. That's why you settled today, punks.
So what about, we're probably not ever going to hear from Kylie again.
No, luckily I got Kylie. I knew exactly where to go because I get her on the Insta.
Oh, okay.
I get her on the Insta.
Better recognize.
By the way, I mean, we could probably go early. There's so much of her. She might just be doing a 24/7 victim Olympics about everything. And we could play it all day tomorrow. She's nuts. I got all kinds of good stuff with her. Oh, yeah. We could get bonus White Woman Wednesday. That's how crazy she is. All right, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk a little bit about the lawsuit, and it's very interesting. It is significant in the way that the tobacco lawsuit was. That's how big they're saying this is. And we'll talk a little bit about Minnesota. Old Greg got sent home, and Trump just came out a little while and gave a vote of confidence for old Christy the Gnome. So, immigration Barbie. You're so mean. She shot her dog and thought it was a good idea to put it in her book. That right there should disqualify you. You didn't shoot Cujo.
Yeah, what was the dog's name? Like Frisky or something?
Yeah, it was some just like Snuggles. Shot Snuggles. Oh, shot Snuggles, because that's what we do. We make hard decisions. Okay, well, that's uncomfortable.
Well, make a hard decision and resign.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We'll talk about that. A bunch of other stuff straight ahead. Let us know what your hot take is. Bells, NES, and several of you are chiming in as well on that. My take is not political. It isn't it's TikTok. The political side was that, but it's also they just ruined everything with their new algorithms. Horrible. My For You page is a mess. Chad Betts, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. All right, we got a crash. This one involves injury. It's Gallatin Avenue right there at Douglas Avenue in East Nashville. Right lane is blocked, 40 westbound at Spence Lane. So drivers, keep that in mind. Power remains the top issue for about 200,000 people in Middle Tennessee who have been without it since Sunday's ice storm. Tennessee's winter storm has now claimed 5 lives. The fatality spanned 4 counties, including 2 here in Davidson County. Authorities not giving any details, but they do tell us about a 66-year-old Haywood County man who died after a heart attack while he was shoveling snow at his home. Major tech companies like Meta and YouTube facing a lawsuit from a user who says she became addicted to social media at a young age. ABC's Mike Nabusky has more.
The California case is expected to last about 6 weeks and will feature testimony from major Silicon Valley figures like Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. It's one of several bellwether cases, which are designed to inform the judgments or settlements of similar cases against social media firms. There's about 1,500 of them at the state level and another grouping at the federal level. The bellwether cases for those will be heard in the spring.
Now, TikTok and Snapchat settled ahead of the start of the trial for undisclosed terms. The other tech companies say they're taking strides to make sure kids don't get the negative effects of social media. And they say they can't be held responsible for content posted by other users. Longtime Florida Congressman Vern Buchanan announcing today he will not seek re-election. The Republican who serves as vice chair of the powerful House Ways and Means Committee is the 28th member of his party to bow out this cycle. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Tomorrow afternoon, sunshine returns once again, and we'll be back in the low.
Winter is here, and it's kicking us straight in the foot. Now what are you going to do? You're going to call Busy Bee. They're going to help you out. Right now, they got amazing opportunities, especially when it comes to your heating. You want to make sure you're taken care of. HVAC, right? Brandon, get it 0% financing, 18 months, complimentary UV light with any new install, and a free 5-year labor upgrade. That's a $750 value. They're going to help you out with indoor air quality. Take 15% off UV lights when you book a premium dust cleaning. And this, absolutely important, $49 for multi-point furnace inspection and $250 off smart auto whole home water shutoff. And that is for what? Peace of mind in the freezing time. And just in case you may have some issues with your pipes, 0% financing, plus free 50-gallon water heater with those select repipes and or $600 off if not applicable. Check this out. Save $600 on a Halo filtration and softener combos. On top of all of those amazing things that they do for you, they'll come out and take care of you like nobody's business. They ain't everybody over there, just the best. Yeah. How about this? You buy a Beehive membership, they're going to give you one for free so you can give it to a friend. Boom. So what are you waiting for? Call Busy Bee today. 615-775-7833. 615-775-7833. Online at busybehvac.com. Busy Bee, your comfort, our mission. Why are you gonna ride him? No. So this lawsuit that's taking place this is the first time they're going to be in front, the social folks, of a jury. They've settled on numerous occasions outside of court. That's what TikTok did. Snapchat didn't even try to, get involved. They settled. And this involves a 19-year-old. And it's going to be tough for them to prove that her mental problems were all based on the addiction to social media. That's a tough thing to prove right there, because that's like saying, well, she wouldn't have had any problems. Now, it could have exacerbated it. There's no doubt about that. But, I mean, there were kids I knew growing up that had mental issues. There was no Insta. There was none of that stuff. And is it made to be addictive? It is. And their argument is going to be, look, we built this thing, okay? You guys, the stuff that has made her feel this way is the content. And we can't fight the content. We can only do so much. So but the size of this, because there's 1,000 lawsuits waiting out there, and there'll be a lot more. And this is going to cost them millions and potentially billions of dollars if indeed there is something that gets done where they force them to pay it, or whatever it is they end up having to pay. And it's hard too, because Zuckerberg is going to actually be in the trial. He's going to be cross-examined, and he's going to be examined. I mean, that's a big deal. It is.
Have you seen any of the details that TikTok and Snapchat agreed to?
No, they kept it. I'm sure it was a decent amount.
Yeah.
But so her argument and the family's argument is it started when she was 10 and it was built to be addictive. Okay, it's built to be addictive. We all kind of get that. The amount of time that we're spending on it is insane. Have you ever get your little report at the end of the week that tells you how long you've been on it?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
No.
You look at it and you're like, I feel shame. I feel so sad. You're like, that's a job, right? That's a job.
Right.
And, and some of the stuff, like a lot of it, I go there because it's hilarious, right? Twitter to me is different because Twitter is news-based and it's insane at times. And so they're not really brought up in this because, especially with the young kids, like nobody's going to Twitter and going, oh my God, I feel so bad for myself because of Twitter.
Yeah.
My Twitter feed about a month ago went from seeing a lot of conservative people in there, obviously, because I do ascribe to a lot of the conservative philosophy, but now it's almost 90% commies. Literally just espousing how evil capitalism is. And I don't know what shifted, but I don't even go on Twitter anymore because I get tired of watching all these morons talk about how great socialism is.
Yeah, well, you know what? You probably liked one thing. You know what it is? I'm going to be honest. You fight with Robert Reich. And that's your big thing because he's such a wackadoo.
Yeah, but these are people that make him look normal. And it went almost overnight from just being what I would consider normal to being just so many commies in it. And if you're a communist, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot. This doesn't end well for you.
I just stick to football on Twitter. But see, then I have some of the people that I follow will then repost political things.
Yes.
And then my feed fills up. So I unfollow those people because I don't care about politics.
Yeah.
I don't even see, most of the people I follow aren't even showing up on my feed anymore.
Yeah, that's the big thing. And like, I don't know, I have like 11 or 12,000. I stopped Twitter a long time ago because, except for once in a great while, because you can go on there on a Monday morning and say, hey, God bless you guys, have a great week. And then the first thing will be like, you suck because you're a white cis male
Exactly.
and rot in hell.
Yeah.
And you're like, Mom. And that's why I take Twitter away from you. But
You stole my joke.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you say. You could just say, hey, hi. And people are going to just.
Oh, yeah.
And then I started to notice I started getting shadow banned. So, I got like 11 or 12,000 followers, whatever it is. I would say I'd put something out there and I'd look and it'd be like 4 people saw it. I'm like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And my friends would go, hey, dude, I haven't seen anything. And I'm like, this is just stupid. I'm over this. And so I only go on to look at stuff now.
Were you subscribing
To
Twitter?
I did at one point. Well, first I got the blue check originally before they made you subscribe because you have to jump through the hoops. You have
Yeah,
to
but
send-
if you subscribe, your reach is a lot bigger. Because I don't.
No,
I don't,
I think I still have the blue check, and it
Yeah.
doesn't. My reach doesn't go any further.
I don't subscribe, and sometimes I'll get like 2 views. Sometimes I'll get 12. Once in a while, I'll catch a curve, and I'll get 150, 200 views. But that's so rare.
Yeah, now I just go straight to. I just want to know what's going on in the news, what's trending, and look at it and move on. I don't do any of the because at this point it's great for news, but see, TikTok and them were designed to get people to continue to look at it, and they gamified it. It's my uncle. My uncle is a big nerd, and he says, "Look, we gamified World of Warcraft when they first came up with it. We realized." If we gave people opportunities to continue to play the game by collecting stuff and gamifying certain things, they would continue to play the game. So you had guys who were like the farthest you could be in World of Warcraft, but once we started giving out badges, they would go all the way to the beginning and start grabbing all the badges. And it's the same thing. It's about getting people in that mindset. And they're saying, well, the kids are addicted. But my thing is, why are you not talking to your kid about that stuff? Why are you not looking at it? What are you looking at? What are you watching? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you really need to educate your kids more so than ever now.
Yeah.
Well,
About
they don't have
social
time to do that though because they're doing illicit drugs in the other room.
So,
or they're doom scrolling themselves.
well, yeah, they don't even get out of the, they're not even, my buddy asked me last night, he goes, dude, have you heard of this incel thing? And I started talking to him. I go, they go online, they find these, these people, it's a nihilist world, they're black-pilled, whatever you want to call it, and these wackadoo guys and stuff. And I said, it happens on Twitter, and then they go to other chat rooms and stuff. But the doom scrolling, again, Twitter's a separate world. That's why I don't think they're named in this. But that other stuff, it is interesting because, once again, like you said, what are you doing for your kids? How are you having conversations with them? My kids know none of this is real.
Yeah.
None of it is. Right? None. You just turn it off. Okay,
Right.
there, it's gone.
Yeah. It's just people hiding behind fake names and keyboards.
Yes, absolutely. Fake names and keyboards and living a life like the keeping up with the Joneses. Have you ever seen people that you know and they're like, their life looks perfect? Like, I know you, dude. You're an idiot. Right? You're close to filing BK. Your wife's having an affair. That baby ain't even yours. Right? And, they repoed 2 of your cars and you guys, and that's not Hawaii. You guys are in, some crappy island that probably was used to test nuclear bombs.
Check your rads. You might be a little hot.
I know. I'm sunburned. No, you're not. You got radiation poisoning. Stay away from me. But that's everybody. That's the whole thing. They go on and everybody shows the best of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so this will be big. If indeed it gets as far, I wouldn't be surprised if the other two right before, end up, tapping out. But once you do that, though, they're all coming for you. Once you do that.
That's the thing, man. Do you think TikTok and Snapchat, I mean, the fact that they're settling, what chance now does Meta and YouTube have?
Yeah,
Well, other than a fine, what's going to be the result of settling?
Well, that's true.
Well, the fine is, the goal, and you said this, you and I were talking earlier, the perfect example is going to be old Zuckerberg getting up there and saying, first of all, I'm not an alien. And secondly, we've been trying to get, Washington to regulate us forever because the more that they're regulated, the smaller everything's going to get as far as it's just going to become 3 companies that pretty much own everything. But how do you, who's the fine go to? But this is a actual lawsuit, not by 50 people, but by a singular girl and her parents.
Right.
So this is a settlement that goes to them.
Right. And I think I heard in that report that I ran, Mike Dubusky says there are thousands of other lawsuits in the wings.
Yes, there's 1,000 they know of right now that have already been filed. But this is the first one ever. And so remember what happened with the big tobacco. Then they had to go and they had to set up, all these funds like they do with what's that Roundup stuff and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Or Camp Lejeune. And they have to set up these massive things, put billions of dollars in it, and just throw your name in there and say, my kid was affected. And, you get a few bucks and away you go.
And you have to watch those incessant ads on TV about the
Camp Lejeune.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are everywhere. So.
Did you use Roundup when you were 10?
Maybe. I don't know. I know. Really.
Well, we can get you some money.
Did you get hit by a bus? Well, that's because of Roundup. You're like, what?
No, but I did ride my bicycle behind mosquito trucks.
Everybody did. Mosquitoes would die on your arm, and you'd be like slapping them, and you're just covered in that stuff.
Just breathing it in, boy.
Yes. And there we go. There we go. That's it. That's just, here we are. We're 80s kids. We don't care. We're having a laugh. You know what? We are a rash. You're not getting rid of any of us.
Gen X is a rash.
We are rash. We are absolutely super rash. So I want to see if this thing even gets to a jury and how they even go about picking the jury. And what that, because the other thing is too, like everybody looks at Zuckerberg and thinks, that's, you're Zuckerberg.
He's an android.
You think?
Not an alien. He's an android.
I'm waiting for the first robot that kills a person and what that lawsuit looks like.
Man. You know it's coming, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing's totally coming. That thing's going to lose its freaking mind and snap your head. And then the next thing you know, right, the same people that made your little Hoover thing that's rolling around in your room, right, just done and killed you, sucks your cat up or whatever.
No, I used to spend a lot of time on social media. I don't even have a Facebook account now. I'm rarely going on Twitter, but I do like Instagram mostly because of the pictures and stuff, not the politics of it or anything like that. In fact, I don't engage in a lot of politics on Instagram. I just want to see cool content, video, and things like that. And luckily, I've been able to keep most of the politics out of my feed.
You guys send some funny stuff.
You do. And
you guys don't send anything political.
No,
it's
I don't.
Funny.
I try not to. Because I do enough politics. I don't need it. I'd rather. I always fight with Radio America because sometimes all I want to do is I just want to have a show all day where we talk about crappy movies.
Absolutely.
I watched American Ninja this weekend. You're welcome. Michael Dudikoff was a badass.
Trust me, it was editing.
Michael Dudikoff, what's up? American Ninja, what? Coming up. Oh, guess what? The clock is moving closer to midnight. We'll talk a little bit about that.
Man.
Oh, my Lord. It's all happening. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor is awesome. I take it every single day. So does my wife. My wife has issues with her joints and inflammation. It's really bad at times. And so does my kids, my daughters have issues. And I started giving my wife, though, Relief Factor. It was to the point where she struggled at times. There was days when she couldn't do anything. And this has changed everything for her. It's got omega-3 fatty acids and, all this incredible stuff in there, this resveratrol and curcumin and all this stuff. And what it does is it focuses on the pathways when it comes to inflammation, especially in your muscles and joints. And it has changed her life tremendously. So what I want you to do, I want you to try a Jumpstart trial bag. You take it every single day. It's amazing. It is a 3-week quick start, $19.95. Okay, 3-week quick start, $19.95, less than a cup of coffee a day. You're going to feel the difference. So if you struggle, especially if you're doing some, outside lifting and picking stuff up, or maybe just sometimes just sitting and you wake up and your back and your legs hurt, try this and watch what happens and see how you feel. You will feel the difference. All right, so go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. 800, the number 4-RELIEF for Relief Factor.
All right, drivers, we've got a crash blocking the right lane, 40 westbound. They're at Spence Lane. We've had another shooting involving federal immigration agents, and power remains the top issue for hundreds of thousands of Middle Tennesseans in the aftermath of that ice storm. These stories and more coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
The Chad Benson Show is powered by NCA, National Certified Alarms, no long-term contracts. License number 645. So it's not 10 minutes to midnight anymore. It's 85 seconds to midnight. Closest we've ever been. Doomsday clock.
We need for Bruce Dickinson and the boys to come up with another song.
85 seconds to midnight. See, it doesn't have that ring to it.
It just
Doesn't roll off the tongue. 80-year history of the clock. We are 85 seconds to midnight. It's the closest it's ever been. The closest it's ever been. Midnight, by the way, represents the point at which humans will have made Earth unlivable. Unlivable. Just to let you guys know that. Unlivable. It's not going to happen if we get there.
good thing we have that special spaceship that we're hiding, and we can go to another planet.
Yeah, good thing. Well, I mean, we're all a simulation anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So when we hit midnight, that means they've run out of quarters.
So much of what goes into deciding what time is on that clock is just there's a whole lot of liberal garbage in it.
Well, yeah. I'm like, well, here's the thing. The renewable energy thing, okay, whatever. Biosecurity, okay, we can talk about that. Regulating AI. You know who's doing AI right? The Chinese. We're further ahead in a lot of stuff, but they're doing it right as far as trying to protect their workforce and whatnot. So that's an interesting thing when it comes to that, because let's be honest. I mean, this administration in particular is not going to regulate a damn thing at any time, including our state and several others that tried to put any way to regulate AI in it. The administration came down and crushed them, said, nope, not going to happen. So when it takes over, who do you have to thank for that?
And what's to stop the Chinese from hacking AI and retraining it to just start doing massive damage to the infrastructure of our internet?
Same thing. It's not going to stop us from doing that to them. You know, I mean, there's the one thing about getting closer to midnight is the mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Has always been a big deterrent, which is, we could blow you to hell. You could blow us to hell. Nobody wins.
Nope.
So, although I will tell you, we'll touch on it next hour. Are you seeing what's going on in China? Not a lot of people are paying attention. Maybe one of the biggest stories, essentially Xi's best friend from childhood and top general, one of the only few people that's actually been in any kind of scuffle that isn't a slap fight with the Indians. He had him arrested. And he's ousting a lot of allies. And there was words of it was a coup or it was all this stuff. And then they came out and said he sold a bunch of nuclear secrets to America, which nobody's buying. And this is an interesting thing that is going on over there, because this was dude's best buddy. And to say that he would even think about it, there's no chance, right? Xi is so implanted. There's no chance there's a coup. So there's a lot more going on there. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program, more on the latest in the weather, the chaos, and how many people are without power. We'll talk about that. Some stuff out of Minneapolis. We have another shooting border agent, this time in Arizona. We'll talk about that as well. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Authorities say a person is in critical condition after being shot during an incident involving U.S. Border Patrol in southern Pima County, Arizona. That's going to be right around Tucson. Power remains the top issue for most residents in West and Middle Tennessee. Right now, the mid-state region still has close to 200,000 without electricity. And this has overnight temperatures get into the single digits. Tennessee's winter storm death toll has risen to 5. 2 of those now confirmed in Davidson County, although we don't have the details. Officials are telling us that Haywood County officials say a 66-year-old Brownsville man died Sunday while shoveling snow at his home on Dixon Avenue. He apparently had a heart attack, pronounced dead by arriving paramedics. Nearly 30 children have been treated for carbon monoxide poisoning at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital during this week's winter storm. Hospital staff say the spike likely tied to families using generators to stay warm during widespread power outages, which can be deadly within minutes if those generators are inside or other heating means like propane. They're reminding everyone generators should never be used indoors, must be kept at least 20 feet from doors and windows. Major tech companies, including Meta and YouTube, facing a lawsuit from a user who says she became addicted to social media at a young age. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
TikTok has now agreed to settle a case in which a 19-year-old, referred to in court documents as KGM, accuses it and other social media platforms of using addictive designs, resulting in depression, body dysmorphia, and self-harm. Lawyers for the teenager and her mother say they're pleased with TikTok's settlement and that Meta and YouTube are now the focus. Last week, Snapchat similarly opted to settle the case for undisclosed terms. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Yeah, big changes coming to Big Brown. United Parcel Service plans another round of layoffs. UPS beat analysts' expectations in the fourth quarter of 2025, helped along by a brisk holiday shipping period. But the company's facing stiff competition from its biggest client, Amazon, which is building its own delivery infrastructure. So UPS plans to cut 30,000 positions from its payroll, mainly through attrition. And after November's crash of one of its MD-11 cargo jets in Louisville, UPS is speeding up the retirement of that type aircraft from its fleet. And the results of a new study from the Alzheimer's Association may give parents second thoughts about allowing their kids to play football, hockey, or rugby.
The findings confirm what the families of pro athletes have long suspected, that brain trauma sustained during contact sports may greatly increase the risk of dementia later in life. Researchers studied the donated brains of 614 people, primarily athletes, who had suffered repeated head impacts during their lives. More than half had evidence of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE. Those with the most advanced CTE had 4 times the odds of also having dementia. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Let's parcel the Chad Benson Show is powered by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. We're going to do that. What was the name of the new weather jingle?
Weather jingle.
Remember?
Chapped ass.
Chapped ass. That's right.
When he first said it, I thought he said Chad's ass.
Which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Right, as well. Looking and seeing what's going on with the chaos in Minneapolis. By the way, I mean, as some of you said last week, you got to hand it to them. It's like -10, and they're outside.
When you're getting paid, you got to show up for work.
Well, even at that point in time, you ain't paying me that well. I don't know how much you think they're getting. But, and not everybody.
They're getting enough to show up in that weather.
Well, not everybody there is getting paid, but there are some. And I think that, again, we can sit here and have conversations all day about certain things, but there was no doubt that some of these people are very committed to their craft. I'm very committed to my craft. What would it take you to go? What's the dollar amount? Because I don't know if I have anything at this moment in time that I would say, I got to go outside and protest.
I'm thinking at least 500 for the day.
For the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give you 6 hours.
6. Solid 6. I like that. And that includes an hour for lunch.
Yes, and you bring the lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You got to feed us, too. It isn't, otherwise it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Soros better be using his gold McDonald's card.
Soros. That guy's nuts in a lot of ways. Crazy like a fox. But I admired him for his brilliance in trading currency because he was arguably the most incredible currency trader that ever lived. He was so good, and I read his book several occasions, The Alchemy of Finance. He was so good that there were nations like France, and he broke Britain. I mean, like they fear him shorting their currency because he could destroy them like that. That's how big and powerful he was. And then he took that money and instead of doing good, right? What did he do? He wanted to have this bizarre open
Yeah, for socialist,
society.
he sure doesn't seem to redistribute a lot of his wealth.
No. Well, the problem is he's so good at making money, right? He gives away $1 billion, but then he made $3 billion. And you're like, oh, man. Oh, geez. So it's interesting, no doubt. But we have another shooting. This time it is in Arizona. That's all that we know is it's a shooting in Arizona. And one person is in critical condition. That's it. It happened in Pima County near Milepost 15 around 7:30 a.m. And that's all they're saying. Circumstances leading to the incident were not immediately clear, but this was a Border Patrol agent in Arizona that fired the shot. Outside of that, I have no idea what took place. I don't think anybody does, and it's just a quiet situation from there. I'm sure we'll find out more. Speaking of the border and whatnot, Trump earlier today on Kristi Noem.
I am, yeah. I think she's doing a very good job. The border is totally secure. You know, you forget. We had a border that I inherited where millions of people were coming through. Now we have a border where no one is coming through. They come into our country only legally. So you have to remember those things. You know, people forget as soon as you accomplish something, it goes into history and nobody ever wants to talk about it. We had a border that caused all of this problem. Biden caused, and the Democrats caused this problem. They allowed tens of millions of people to come in. Many of them were murderers. Many were drug dealers, drug addicts, people from mental institutions. They allowed these people to violate our country, to come into our country. And that's what we're talking about. So if you remember, we had a horrible border, the worst border we've ever had, ever in history. People were flowing through by, we think, 25 million people, not to mention drugs and everything else. and that border is absolutely closed.
Kristi Noem had nothing to do with that. She didn't. That was all you. And the swipe of a pen. That was it. You changed everything back to the way it was, and overnight everything. She had nothing to do with that. That was you and telling the border agents, hey, you guys can enforce laws now. You can turn around and send them back. And these are the rules. That was not her. She had played no part in any of that. I get it. They had a 2-hour meeting yesterday. And look, they did not cover themselves in glory over the shooting. They did not. Right? They send, little Gregory, Buffino back to El Centro, which is near San Diego. And because he also did not cover himself in glory. And that is not going well because he knows he's got to have a bit of a tone. That's why he brought Tom Homan in, right? The lady who got shot, Renee Good, when everybody else was like, she's a terrorist, she's a terrorist, she's a terrorist. And she's all these things, and she's this. And you know what he said? You know what? Let's see what everything says. Let's see what the video, let's get all the information first. And then they ran out there. And he felt that, okay, it's shifting. I'm starting to lose, not based on, a lot of stuff that I would like to see done, based on the fact that you've got people running around that are in positions they shouldn't be, and it doesn't look good. And he talked about the victim who was killed.
Well, I'm looking at that whole situation. I love everybody. I love all of our people. I love his family. And it's a very sad situation.
Yeah, and, yesterday, Dropsite News has another camera angle, and you could see them take the gun out of his back, and this has not helped the administration, and Trump doesn't like that. Trump, he wants him to be, let's go get him, let's get rid of the bad people, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of this is theatrics, right? Because that's what politics is anymore, is a lot of it is theatrics. It's like, oh, what's the presentation like? And that's the other thing. Trump's like, that's the beauty of Trump is he can go, oh, things are changing. I need to shift. Things are going a little sideways. I need to pivot here. So I'm going to pivot. And that's what he did. That's why he's bringing Tom Homan in. They had a 2-hour meeting yesterday. I told you guys yesterday that he was not happy. My source said he was pissed for a lot of things. Because he also recognized, hey, the tone from other Republicans, is it good? And then what hurt him is, you had Kash Patel come out and say, you can't carry a gun at a protest. What? Where'd you come up with that? Like, even Maria Bartiromo's like, what are you talking about? I mean, this was, he recognized it. And Trump is great at that 70, 30, 80, 20. Oh, there's a pivot here. I need to pivot with him. Gets on the phone with the mayor, gets on the phone with the governor, and they go and fix this as fast as they can to try to bring the room temperature down, which is what he needed to do. Because he recognizes, too, whether he likes it or not, this is your administration. Buck stops with you. You're the head of the administration. So you're going to be the one that when people are pissed and angry about what they feel, and again, think of it outside of the box in the echo chamber that many of you sometimes listen to, where it's, it's only this. No, think about it outside of the box where independents and frustrated Republicans are like, ooh, if you lose Sean Hannity, he was like, I don't think this is good. And you lose, the likes of Governor Abbott's like, maybe we need to change the tone a little bit. Maybe we need to have a different feel. That's when okay, I've got to pivot. And he's good at that. And that's why he's moved, say what you want about Greg Buffino, who is, I wasn't a fan because I think everything he did was also very theatrical. And the same thing with Immigration Barbie. I think they just said we need to get the adult in the room, and Tom Homan's it. He's gruff, he's no nonsense, but he'll sit there and he's, I've talked to Tom on several occasions. He's easy to talk to. Even Bell talked to him. Bell K talked to him. He's easy to talk to.
Nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. And I think that helps. And he's currently meeting with the powers that be right now. So it'll be interesting over the next couple of days to see how this thing shakes itself out and whether or not Trump is going to be resetting and moving on from here to somewhere else in the coming days. Because I think, that's probably going to happen. I think they'll come up with something. And by the way, for those of you who say, well, they need to allow them to have access, Minnesota allows them to have access if you have a warrant or an order to be removed in the prisons. They allow you to have access in the prisons. Maybe not the jails, but in the prisons they do. So, but they don't let you, some states actually have inside of there. They'll have, I know Dallas, was talking to one of the officers out there, they have them inside of the jails and the prisons. They'll have, border enforcement inside of there. But we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. Meanwhile, still cold outside. Am I correct, Ken? Is it still cold? I don't know.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, it is cloudy, too.
Oh, for the love of goodness.
So that hurts the melting. But it is warm enough to melt. I mean, am I seeing this correct? No, okay, that was wrong. Yeah. It's 30 degrees. It is 30 degrees and it's cloudy now, so there's not much melting going on now.
No, there's not. So, and that's right now, it's the ice.
In fact, there's no melting going on as long as it's 30 degrees and no sun.
Zero melting going on. And I don't think it's going to, because what we're going to get is anywhere that's not really getting the ice hit by the sun, that's not going to melt. And what's going to end up happening is we've got another cold front moving in. So that means this time next week, we'll still be talking about the fact that, in particular, not so much streets, because I don't think there's any precipitation coming with this, but sidewalks and certain areas and trees will still be frozen over.
Yeah, and that's what we don't want.
We do not want that.
Frozen over.
No, God, no. That's awful. When I walked yesterday here, I was telling you guys at the roundabout, the trees across the street, the little park, they were all down. But you could walk across the side, the crosswalk and stuff, and it was slippery. On the way home, the trees on the other side, it landed in the street. And I had to walk most of the way here and home yesterday in the street because the sidewalks were so bad. And I don't think those are going to change. And they feel like they're getting worse. It feels like it's spreading out now. Oh, good God. Awful, awful, awful. I mean, I like the snow, right? That's neat. But the freezing cold, I wasn't a fan of that with the precipitation that came with it.
Nope.
So, Ken, what was our thing again? It was called...
The Chap-Ass Report.
The Chap-Ass Report. That's going to be the new one tomorrow. I've been working on Chap-Ass Report. We're chapping you.
Because cold chaps you.
Yeah, it does. A little chafing going on is what we're saying. Coming up, it is Hot Take Tuesday. Remember, keep your hot takes to what?
Ooh.
Non-political. Mine got a little political last hour. It's not, though, but it is still going to be about the tick and the talk. So non-political hot takes straight ahead. If you're missing the show, we say, shame on you. Grab that podcast. Check out just 99.7. Bulwark Capital is amazing. And my friends are doing a incredible webinar. These things are awesome. And you sit down and you go to this webinar. It's 5:30. It's Thursday night. That's the 29th. Free to sign up. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. They're going to go over the markets. It's called New Year Reset, where they think, and by the markets, I mean global markets, everywhere, across the globe, and look at different things and show you what it is they do through their value investment strategy, because they're active managers. So it is not just, hey, let's put you in some mutual funds. That's not who they are. They're up over 50% from January of last year to this year. And they want to show you what they can do for you. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. How can they give you the most upside potential? Sign up for their New Year Reset webinar happening this Thursday, 5:30. Sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOWriskpodcast.com for our friends at Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment with all risks, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trek 2605.
All right, drivers, still showing a wreck at 40 westbound and Spence Lane. There is a man fighting for his life after another shooting involving immigration agents in this country. Power remains the top issue for hundreds of thousands of Middle Tennesseans. We'll update you on the progress to get the heat back on coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It is Tuesday. We keep it non-political. Give it to us hot. Hot take. Hot take. Hot take Tuesday. All right. Ken, give us the hot take.
Well, this is very, very relevant with all the ice still covering Middle Tennessee, especially on your car, truck, or van. If your car, truck, or van sheds ice chunks on the highway, you're not a driver, you're a missile launcher. Clean your roof or accept that you're the reason someone behind you now needs a new windshield and possibly a change of underwear.
Oh, don't change those underwear. Unless you get hit in the grundle by a giant chunk of flying ice from iceberg. Somebody texted, what did they texting earlier? Saying that had to do something special with the windows. Is that what they said, Bell? And you called him a party pooper?
They were saying that since windows are made from safety glass, that there's no way the ice would penetrate.
Yeah.
And I said, not every single thing on the radio is said to be taken with 100% serious.
And by the way, it doesn't have to penetrate. If a big chunk of ice hits your window and you're not really paying attention because you're just zoning out driving,
it'll cause you to crash.
Yes. That's some of the things that'll happen there. All right, here we go. Everybody stand back. Bell's ready to blow. Let's do it.
NES sucks, or at least the person who is in charge of prioritizing which incidents they cover first. And I say this because I have a live power line draped across my car, covered in branches that someone approaching my house today almost touched. and they are sitting here telling me it's not a priority because it's the line going from the transformer to my house instead of a main one. Maybe you don't leave the wire on the ground that can get somebody killed.
Have you thought about just tapping it really quick?
Actually, yes, but I'm not going to risk it.
We were sitting there today going, what do we, do you throw something at it to see if it's, do you try to climb in through the other window, the side of the car? And
No, I mean, the car's got to be charged if the thing.
put some rubber shoes on and take a risk, okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right?
Well, you know what? You can come over and show me how to do that right
I'm not going to. I'm not, you're faster than me. You can run in between the raindrops and the lightning. You'd be fine, right?
No.
No. So not thrilled. By the way, an NES lineman listening. What? 1330. 215 broken poles. They're still going at it. Okay, so tell that. Everyone that calls NES has a down power line bell.
If it's live, it ought to be gotten
They're
up
all
off the
live,
ground.
Bell.
Then they all should be prioritized.
They're all live,
Get
Bell.
them off the ground so people don't electrocute themselves.
And he also said
Priorities.
NES is in the business of making money, run mostly. Some good ones there. But
how much money are they making with busted with a line down on the ground?
Yeah, people still have to pay their bills.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
They can still cut you off. Of course, they won't.
I'm
with
not
it being
saying
so cold.
I'm not saying it's got anything to do with the lineman. I'm talking about the idiot that prioritizes what they fix first. And there was a guy in my yard today that could have gotten killed because they don't prioritize this.
Yeah, that's true. But is it?
It might be different if it wasn't basically camouflaged by all the tree limbs and everything over it.
Yeah.
That's why you got to stay away from those down tree limbs.
Watch you go out there and find out that thing's not even. That thing's just a deadline. Hasn't been working in 50 years, and you've left it there for days because you were afraid to go touch it.
Can't risk it, though.
You can. You and I were telling Kenzel, you know what I would do? Throw some water on it. Because that seems safe.
Well, I'd throw water on it, but I'd be way away from it.
Water would probably freeze before it hit it.
Oh,
Somehow I would... Somehow, when I threw the water, I would slip and slide into the car.
You wouldn't let the bucket go, and then it would twist up on you, and
Right.
the water would hit it, and then there would be an arc of lightning,
Right.
electrocution.
Right. And it would burn my pants off.
And that would be the funny thing.
I'd be naked from the waist down.
Oh, like Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, I'll be the first person to admit that I'm irritated by this because it's inconveniencing me in a big way and draining my wallet from having to use Ubers.
Yes.
But it wasn't bothering me that much until this guy almost touched the car this morning.
Yeah, came in today, and I have my bellometer when I walk in. I'm like, let's see what kind of grumpy mood he is. And, oh, he's fine. Eeyore's fine today. Today, Eeyore was angry. Eeyore. My hot take is TikTok has been taken over by the Americans. And they've jacked the pooch. They've screwed up the algorithm. It is not going well. I'm getting people that I never even my For You page is a hot mess. I want my funny animal stuff back. I want my soccer stuff back. I want all that fun stuff. What am I getting? Crap. Just a bunch of stupid thing I don't care. Some political crap. I'm getting a lot of crap. I'm getting stuff in other languages. It's just, what? All I want is my fun. I built that For You page for me, and I want it back.
Are you getting any naked women?
No.
That's good.
You can't have that on TikTok.
No.
Got to be on Twitter for that.
Yeah, Twitter has a lot of that. Although, you know what I am getting? The mini dramas. I'm getting a lot of those. You ever watch those mini dramas?
No.
Dude, I get sucked into those stupid things. I do. I get so sucked in.
What do you mean by mini drama?
So there are like 5 or 6 companies that produce these awful. Honest to God, they make the Hallmark movies look like these people over here are auteurs. Like, oh my goodness, who directed this over here? Right? Was that Orson Welles? These mini dramas, like porn has better acting, but the stories are so stupid, they're compelling. And I get sucked into them. I'm sitting there, my wife's like, what you watching? I'm going to find out if she's really the warrior queen. It is so stupid. I'm getting so many of those. Now I'm probably going to go back because it's listening to me and send me another 50 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. I want my singing cats back. Those things are great. By the way, cats are hilarious. I've been watching cats go through like tubes. Have you seen that?
No.
Where they slide down in like tubes and they're stuck in there and it's just hilarious. Cats are funny.
Dude, I like watching the cats slapping dogs.
Oh,
and
that's
other
so
cats.
great.
That cracks me up.
Yeah, that is so hilarious. Or when dogs, like the guy, like meets a woman and they fall in love and she goes, I didn't think my dog would like him. And then the dog won't let her get anywhere near him.
Right.
He'll slap him. I better watch out. Good. A wrongful death lawsuit's been filed over the U.S. military boat strike. This is going well.
I wondered when that was going to come about.
It's happening. Coming up, a lot of good stuff still to get to. A little bit more. We got some of your text messages on some of your stuff that's going on here, because there's some stuff that's going on, right? Like in Minnesota, some stuff going on all over the place. We got another shooting. By the way,
outside of Tucson.
Do you know how many shootings we've had? There's been 6. Now, this is 17 shootings.
17.
With 0 investigation.
That ICE was involved in?
Yeah, ICE or the CBP in the last several months. And nobody's been charged with anything.
Well, they were all in fear of their lives.
All in fear of their lives. So we'll see what this one's about. This one's a little closer to the border. A lot of other good stuff to get to. Some fun stuff, because we do fun stuff, kids. Yeah, Ben Show, Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Yeah, a man is fighting for his life after being shot in an encounter with Border Patrol agents in rural Pima County, Arizona. That's outside of Tucson today. Power remains the top issue for most residents in West and Middle Tennessee. The mid-state region still has close to 200,000 without electricity. And these temperatures are not letting up. We're not above freezing today. It's 30 degrees now. We got cloud cover, so that's hurting any chances for melting. State health officials confirming 5 weather-related deaths in Tennessee. The victims reported across 4 counties, including 2 in Davidson County, though they're not giving us details. They do tell us in Haywood County, a 66-year-old man died after suffering a heart attack while shoveling snow. Major tech companies like Meta, YouTube, and YouTube are facing a lawsuit from a user who says she became addicted to social media at a young age. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky.
Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are being accused of using addictive designs, which can lead to compulsive and unhealthy behaviors, according to the California case. Advocates for the plaintiffs say the fact the case is reaching the trial phase at all is significant because Section 230 of the 1996 Communications Decency Act protects online platforms from the content that gets published on them.
Yeah, the California case, also a so-called bellwether case meant to be used as a framework for juries' decisions in a grouping of similar social media cases. By the way, TikTok and Snapchat settled ahead of the start of the trial for undisclosed terms. Florida Republican Congressman Vern Buchanan says he'll retire at the end of his term, wrapping up nearly 20 years in Washington. Buchanan becomes the 28th House Republican to step aside ahead of the 2026 elections. His district is considered safely Republican. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Freezing is possible for tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, sunshine returns once again, and we'll be back in the low to mid-30s.
Beacon Capital Management wants to talk to you about what's going on when it comes to your retirement. And this is not just your retirement as in, the dollars and cents of it all. Like, are you going to outlive your retirement? Everybody worries about that. But wants to talk to you about things like long-term care, which is important. I don't think people realize the importance of long-term care. How about estate planning? Trust wills, things of that nature. Also, healthcare and taxes. That's right. They'll help you with taxes. They can do it all. And it's not going to cost you anything but a conversation with them. For a free personalized financial consultation, right? You visit beaconcm.com or call 615-488-9303. They'll show you everything from, how you can save with taxes in the one big beautiful bill and things like, car loan interest or above line charitable donations and, where are you going to take your donations. And if you're over 65, there's an additional senior deduction up to $6,000. But all of these things, you have to know where to look, know how to use them, and they're not going to be here forever. So take advantage of it. Let them help you, whether you need one of these things or all these things. Beacon's awesome. They're local. Sit down and talk with Beacon Capital Management. Call them today, 615-488-9303, or check them out online at beaconcm.com. Beacon Capital Management, this is a paid placement. Oh, somebody text message. Cruising in. By the way, the whole lawsuit thing, somebody said they saw a commercial already. So the lawsuit for social media.
Yeah.
A commercial saying, have you been injured by, social media?
There you go. Class action, baby.
It's already happening, baby. Have you or somebody you know seen somebody with a better body and it made you feel bad about yourself?
Not me.
Call Weaver, K, and Benson.
I've actually gotten, I got that notice from AOL, not AOL, one of the
AOL.
It was Facebook. I got that notice that I was awarded money in a class action lawsuit against Facebook, which turned out to be like $4.49.
All right.
And then I got one that I can get money from a class action lawsuit from SiriusXM, and then I'm also in one from Amazon for overcharging and making it hard to cancel anything. So if you add all up that together, I might be able to go to McDonald's.
It might be. That's a solid $12 right there. $12. It's funny. 1 million people get $4, right? And you're like, oh, that's $4 million. And then the lawyers get 40 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but not here at Weaver, K, and Benson.
Weaver, K, and Benson.
If you win, it'll be awesome, and it'll be great for you. If you or somebody you know has seen somebody whose life is better and it has made you feel uncomfortable, come to our thing.
Hi, I'm Ken Weaver. Have you been exposed on social media as not being as tall as you present yourself?
Have you been catfished? Has somebody on social media made you feel bad about who you are? We're here to fix your crap.
We're here to get you pocket change.
That's right.
Has your life been exposed as not being perfect?
Has your Get Ready With Me videos not gone the way you thought? By the way, it's hard to take you serious with your Get Ready With Me videos if you're trying to talk about something serious and you're putting on makeup.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah, what about that gal? You got any more from her?
Oh, Jess, I got so much from her. She's so insane. And she gets, look, first of all, she's kind of smoking hot. But the whole Get Ready With Me thing, and then she talks about how life is, how underprivileged everybody is. Like, lady, my daughter, Lily, she's like, yeah, she's got like $300 worth of makeup right there. Yeah. She's not slumming it. But nobody stole her backpack or jacket or whatever. Like Kylie. It happens sometimes. Sometimes your backpack, it gets stolen, and the next thing you know, it's really bad for you. Oh, man. Speaking of height, as you were saying, did you see Diego Pavia? He's at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah.
And apparently, NFL, they like to know how tall you are. And I'm 5'11" or 4'8". So he is apparently 5'9" and 7/8 inches. The only sub 5'9" quarterback in the history of the NFL to be selected in the draft was Davey O'Brien, who was 5'7", the year of the Lord 1939, and Eddie LeBron in 1952. Flutie was 5'10".
What about Drew Brees? How tall was Drew Brees?
He was about 6 foot, 5'11".
He was 6 foot? Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no wonder he wanted to stay in college for another year. Drew Brees is 6 foot. So, and that's from the combine.
Yeah, as a quarterback in the NFL, I don't know, man. That's you've got to be able to see
over people
over the line of scrimmage.
How tall is Mahomes? Because he seems short. When you see
Patrick's
him
like 6'2".
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you think he looks short because everybody around him's 12 feet tall.
Right. It's kind of like a point guard in basketball.
Yeah. I mean,
they look like they're short, but they're actually
have you ever been to an NBA game? You're sitting there and you go, sweet mother of God, who grew these people this big? I met Shaq once.
Yeah.
There's nobody the size of that human being is you can't even, unless you stand next to it, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because unlike a lot of guys, he's not 7'4" and like 87 pounds. He's a grown man with a grown man body.
Yeah, he is. I think in his playing, they said at the height of his play, of his career, he had like 10% body fat.
Yeah, and at the lower part of it, he had 100% body fat. There was times when I was like, oh, he's thundering literally down the... He's like, you guys go to the other side. I'll wait here.
He's endorsing Burger King and eating a lot of it.
And then every time I go to a Burger King, I end up buying one of them. Like a Burger King? No, just a whole store. That's why I have 465 of them. Bryce Young is 5'10". How's that working out?
Yeah.
I know. No way Flutie was 5'10". Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Flutie is, he got outside the pocket, but he didn't, Pavia could go. I think he could be on a team. I think he'd be a backup. He'd be one of those guys, maybe put some gadget plays, maybe teach him to do what that guy Taysom Hill does. I don't know. That guy for, New Orleans, who's kind of like, he's going to play quarterback for half a game, then he's going to, kick, and then he's going to return punts. But with Pavia, worst case scenario is what do? You go to Canada, you make a couple $100,000 a year and try to hope to win the Grey Cup.
Well, and you can throw the ball like 30 yards into the end zone.
Yeah, in
and
Canada.
Still make a touchdown.
Do you know what if you've never seen Canadian football, there's a play in Canadian football that is the craziest play where the quarterback will get the ball and he'll kick it
yes.
to himself over just like a foot, and then he falls on it, and it's like first down.
First
You're like,
down. And I like how if you punt the ball and it goes in the end zone, 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point. If you don't run it out, 1 point. 1 point. And we're sitting here today talking about the CTE, and the Canadians are like, you know what we should do? If you're too much of a wuss, right? Give the other team a point. And the thing is too, although they're changing the rules, because the end zone's insane. It's like 25 yards, and they have the field goal at the front of it, and you have somebody that waits back there in the end zone. So if you miss the kick, they have to run it out, or you can still get a point on them. Canadians, you and your funny stuff, eh? Your funny things, you know what I mean, eh? That's crazy, eh? Yeah, a lot of people are very excited about our law firm. I would be too. I mean, this is going to be awesome. Because a lot of those big law firms that you see, by the way, the Morgan & Morgan people, if you've never seen him, that guy is so fascinating. He is worth like $1.5 billion.
Wow.
And a lot of those law firms, they're not law firms, right? So we could literally set up Weaver, Kay, and Benson, and we could just be, what they do is they just get the leads and they give them out to other people and they take a percentage.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm thinking so too.
I had a record company violate my contract one time, so I sued them. And the guy that I got in touch with actually passed it off to another lawyer who was more involved in entertainment. And when I was talking to the guy, he told me that out of his cut, that lawyer that referred it would get a cut.
Yeah, because a lot of those things, because you got to think about it. Morgan & Morgan, all these places, I mean, again, and this guy is fascinating. The real estate, the things he has done, the amount of, he's really fascinating. But you see him in every state. Like you go, no, it doesn't matter where you are. I was Morgan & Morgan in Arizona, California. Well, they're not licensed in every state. So what they do is they just, here you go, here you go, here you go.
I like how some attorneys have commercials where it shows them in a real nice office setting.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not really their office.
No, it's not their office.
It's just a stage set.
I love, we had, and every state and city has one of those like funny attorneys. We had one guy in Arizona, and he's giant and he's ripped. And then in like the middle of his commercial, he just rip his clothes off and he start breaking stuff and he's all inked up. He's like, I'll fight for you.
Gino Bustle?
Yeah, kind of Gino Bustle. Yeah, not him. He's too busy trying to get the Bible in the, what's the Bible math on that? Yeah, it's not very nice. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. We're going to have to go up against them, guys.
Oh, certainly.
Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. What are we going to charge? I don't know. We got to find, if any of you lawyers know what's our finder's fee for our new law firm that's basically a lead firm?
20%
of what they get.
Yeah, 20% of what they get. So you get $1 million, we get 200,000. All right, but we're working hard for you. We're working hard for you. Got a point. You got to point. If you don't point, it doesn't count. Hey, everybody, we're working hard for you. When they tell you, no, it can't be done, we say, yes, it can be.
You're missing a lot if you're not on Super Talk TV.
This is the thing. It's going to be good for you. We'll stop the thing. Did you use social media? Oh, Lord. You guys are crazy. Yes, indeed. Coming up, we'll do a little monk talk. We'll find out where the monks are.
The monks.
Monks on a move. Where they go? We'll talk a little bit about that. A bunch of other stuff still to go. Yee apologizing. Yeah. I don't think anybody's buying it.
Yeah, because, here in about 6 months, he's just going to go off again.
Oh, yeah. Because, dude, it's not whether or not.
I didn't mean any of those apologies.
Everybody knew you had that. You were bipolar.
Right.
It's not whether or not you're bipolar. It's whether or not you'll stay on your meds.
Right.
Right. That's the thing. Talk a bit about that as well. If you missed it, shame on you. Grab the podcast. Otherwise, we may come for you. Chet Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks is awesome. It's America's #1 fantasy sports app. How does it work? Well, you set a lineup, 2 or more players. You do it up to 6. You win 2,000 times your money. And you're picking more or less based on players' projected stats. Meaning, do you think Sam Darnold is going to pass for more than 265 yards? Do you think that Steph Curry is going to go for more than 3.5 three-pointers in a game? And away you go. They've got Taco Tuesday promo. They've got amazing promos like you can get your money early payout, even before the game's over. You can stack, you can get injury reboots, and so much more. It is America's #1 fantasy sports app, and now is your chance to start your winning today. So what are you waiting for? Download the app, and now is something else. On top of all of that, when you use my code Chad, they're going to give you $50 in lineups right into your account, win or lose after you play your first $5 lineup. It is that simple. Do not wait. Download the PrizePicks app today. Play your first $5 lineup. Get $50 in lineups and use code CHAD right into your account. Win or lose, guaranteed when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem, call 800-889-9789.
Another shooting involving immigration agents. Power still out for hundreds of thousands of Middle Tennesseans. We'll tell you what NES says it's deployed to help turn the heat back on. These stories and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yes, we're following them as they go. Day 94 of the Monk March.
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Now it's time for your daily Monk March update.
Time for you to leave.
All right, the monks are cruising. They're heading towards Virginia now, but they're still in North Carolina. Cold, by the way, just to let you guys know that. Very cold out there. They are, so when I saw them this morning, they left early this morning, they were fully, like they're totally covered now. They're wearing Ugg boots. Just as Kwai Chang Kang did.
Yeah.
So they're wearing Ugg boots, and a lot of people are still coming out to see them. The next place that they're going to get to is in Virginia somewhere. That's the next town they're going to hit where they're going to do the speech and everything. It's about 300 miles. They're not going to get there. They're not going to get there, obviously, today. But they've been facing the teeth of all of these storms, which is it's crazy that they're out there doing that. Good for them. Again, I know somebody can say, Jesus wouldn't. Yeah, Jesus has been like, those guys are doing it. They're putting their money where their mouth is. They are. And they're doing Kung Fu. I don't really think.
And they adopted a dog.
They adopted a dog.
What kind of dog? Little wiener?
No, it's like a mutt, It's small, probably 30 pounds. Kind of, maybe 40. Aloka is its name, which is a dog apiece.
Probably pretty loyal to the Communist Party of China.
Probably. I would assume so. Well, you have to be, right? If you're on, although they're not, right? Because the whole thing is with them, especially the Buddha.
Free Tibet.
Yeah, Tibet, free it. Free Tibet. They never did. What was that movie with Brad Pitt? The true story that, the German mountaineer that lives up there with
10 years in Tibet.
10 years in Tibet. That's a good movie. I like that. They became pals. They did. If you guys have never seen it, it's a really interesting movie about the true story of like this mountaineer who befriends the Dalai Lama when he's a kid, when he's a puppity pup.
My favorite Brad Pitt character is Cliff Booth.
Oh, God, what a
Once
great
upon
character.
a time in Hollywood, when he beats up Bruce
Lee. That's right. And Bruce Lee's family in real life got all mad. They get all pissed off. Like, you could not have beaten him up. It's like, it's a fictional character. The kind of, what's his name? Quentin Tarantino made it, this little kind of, Cliff Booth was a relative, like a grandson or something.
Oh, yeah?
Of the dude, Aldo Rain from, was it the Inglourious Bastards?
Oh, yeah. Aldo Rain, yes.
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yeah, Nazis. Now I want my scalps. You killed that man. They'll have you for it. Nah, they'll chew me out. I've been chewed out a lot of times before.
I love Brad Pitt, man.
He's such a great
He plays
actor.
Great characters.
He is. He is such a great actor. What group am I talking about? I'm talking about the Tibetan monks, or the monks from Fort Worth. If you guys didn't know, they started 94 days ago. They're marching for peace, and they're going to, and at a time like this, it's very interesting. They're heading towards D.C., and they left in October, and they're cruising, and they're still going. So good for them, even in the snow and whatnot. And the little dog is taken care of as well. Coming up next hour, we'll have the latest on NES and all the stuff going on, power outage, weather, probably some stuff on what's going on with the Border Patrol in Minneapolis, and who knows what else. A lot of fun. I know that. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. I can tell you it's going to be cold. Border Patrol under security again after a shooting in southern Arizona left one person critically hurt. We're following that story. But back here in Middle Tennessee, it is power and everyone's heat. About 200,000 Middle Tennesseans are still without it, but crews are making progress. NES says they now have at least 700 linemen out there working to restore power. They also say they have a couple of hundred people helping them clear vegetation so they can get to where some of these hard-to-reach outages are. The Tennessee Department of Health says 5 people have died as a result of the ongoing winter weather. Deaths reported in Crockett, Haywood, Obion, and 2 here in Davidson County. Although authorities not giving us details on the Davidson County deaths, they do say a Haywood County man, 66 years old, collapsed of a heart attack, died while clearing snow from his driveway. And doctors at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital reporting almost 30 cases of carbon monoxide poisoning since the winter storm hit. Thousands across Nashville, as you know, without power. Many families turning to generators for heat. Hospital officials warn that improper generator use can quickly turn dangerous. Symptoms range from headaches and dizziness to chest pain and confusion. And jury selection beginning in a trial alleging Meta and YouTube deliberately addict and harm children. ABC's Alex Stone reports from Los Angeles that right before trial, one company made a deal allowing it to avoid going in front of a jury.
Just before the trial was set to begin here in L.A., TikTok agreed to settle, avoiding trial. Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube are still facing claims that their platforms deliberately addict and harm children. Snapchat settled the case last week, taking it out of the trial. The core of the case is around a 19-year-old woman. She claims that her use of social media from an early age addicted her to technology and led to depression and suicidal thoughts. Her case is expected to be a bellwether to see how similar cases could play out in front of a jury. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Election 2026, Congressman Vern Buchanan of Florida calling it quits after 2 decades on Capitol Hill. He's the latest in a wave of lawmakers choosing not to run again, including more than 24 Republicans. His seat is unlikely to flip. Research published in the British medical journal Psychological Medicine has some key findings about brain changes during menopause.
A new study looking at 125,000 women suggests that menopause appears to be linked to a loss of gray matter in the brain. Doctors say the deterioration happens whether women are taking hormone replacement therapy drugs or not. Since the brain's gray matter controls everything from your decision-making and emotions to your speech and memory, it could help explain why women are almost twice as likely to be diagnosed with dementia as men.
That's Sherry Preston reporting. And the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Yeah. Ken was just in here. Ken popped over. Walked straight in here.
Get his little heater back.
Got his heater back because Dan, kleptomaniac, went and stole his heater.
It's getting cold in this little anchor booth.
It is getting cold. You know what that means. Now it's time for the Weather Wizard's Snowpocalypse 2026 update.
Tell us about the snow king. Yeah.
So this one's going to be retired because we're going to be chapped ass outside because it's cold as a mother.
The chapped ass report.
So, first and foremost, how many people are still without power?
I'm going to say 200,000. 200,000 still without power. Right now, Nashville Electric Services says that they have 132,951 customers without power. Middle Tennessee Electric making some progress. They still have 2,002 outages. They're all over there in Williamson County. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation. They've got 8,350 outages. Why can that site not be reached?
That is,
Let's see. This is Dixon Electric. Dixon Electric, they're making progress. It looks like they have at least a couple of thousand outages. And then what is this one? Columbia Power and Water Services. Looks like they've got maybe a couple of hundred outages that they're working on. So Nashville Electric Services, that's the major one. That's the one still got at least 130,000 outages. But they sent an update about an hour ago. They say they have at least 700 linemen now out there working to restore power. But they've also deployed 200 crews who help with clearing out a lot of brush that allows the linemen then to get to where these lines have gone down, because that's been a big issue, is not being able to get to where the lines are down because of all the frozen tree branches and trees that are down.
yeah. And we had one of the NES linemen who listens to the show. Thank you, brother. Text in and said there's still 200 plus, poles down. They're doing everything they can. And like you say, it is, some of it isn't, it's getting there is the biggest issue rather than even fixing the problem
right
at this moment in time. But it's they were, there was a lot of conversation over the last few days of were they understaffed? When you go look at, was it Middle Tennessee Electric and stuff had more linemen and they had 8,000 outages, and you God knows how many total NES had, and they had way less linemen, and people were questioning, did you understaff? And I don't know if they did it on purpose. Well, I guess you have to ask Bell because Bell's not very happy with them. But there's some questions there, no doubt, in a time like this. What could you do better?
I do remember them saying at the start of this that, reaching out to neighboring, companies, if you will, or regions was going to be difficult because of how large an area the winter storm was hitting. And I'm not making excuses for them, but they did say that everybody, they were not able to reach out initially because everybody in our region was waiting for this.
Yeah, normally, so if if one of the Carolinas gets hit with, a massive storm, we can send our people because we're probably not going to get that much.
Right.
We can send our people. We couldn't this time.
Well, that actually happened during the hurricane where they had people on standby to go over there.
Yeah, and when this happens, every state needs every lineman they have because it's 2,000-mile swath of destruction that came through.
Yeah, everybody was under an ice storm or winter storm warning.
Yeah, so it wasn't like Georgia was going, oh, you know what, we're fine. I know we're getting hit, but you guys can have ours.
Right.
So, but still, it's going to take a few days. I mean, that's kind of what they said. It's going to take a few days to get everybody up and running.
Right. And, take advantage of the warming stations if you can.
Don't burn anything in your house.
Don't do that, man. Do not run your propane cooker. Don't run that in your house.
We don't need anybody pulling a Brad Delp.
No.
Well, and we've got the Children's Hospital over at Vanderbilt said they've treated at least 30 children who were suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning. Good Lord. And fortunately, they caught them because that'll kill you fast.
Yeah, and here's the thing about carbon monoxide. You don't smell it. It's odorless.
No, you just pass out.
You just slowly go to sleep, and that's it. And game over. Like those people last week, even before this, one of them said they started to get really dizzy and feel like kind of sick, and they knew that something wasn't right.
Right.
And they made the phone call, but it was like 6 of them had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that apartment. It was an apartment complex.
Yeah. So, and this in particular, as you said, you got somebody who's in a mobile home, doesn't have a lot of money. There's not a lot of protection out there. Maybe stop by and say hi.
Right.
See if you can help them. Give them a call, especially if they're on fixed incomes, because they're the ones who are saying, I'll save pennies, right? Because, natural gas and heating oil, all this stuff has gone up, and I'll just burn something in here that'll keep me warm. And lo and behold, what ends up happening is they end up dying.
Right. And, I found this phone number I want to share with everybody that Mayor Freddie O'Connell put out. It's a phone number that you can call if you need a ride to a warming station. And just get ready. Here comes the number, 615-401-1712. Call that number, and they will arrange for transportation for you to get to one of the many warming stations that are open in Nashville. I know that all of the fire stations and some of the police precincts are accepting, at least during the day, people can come in and warm up. Yeah. I don't know if you got a bed for overnight in these places, but they are places you can go. And with the fire stations, that's helpful because there's a fire station almost in every neighborhood.
Yes. Yeah. And they'd rather have you come down, sit inside and warm yourself than them having to come to you because you did something and you put yourself in a bad situation.
Right. So just call that number.
Yeah. Call that number. Now, as far as is it still cloudy outside?
Yes. I don't like it.
Oh, man, I just looked.
We need full-on sun. That morning sun was awesome, man. I mean, I was out early this morning. I was out around 6:45. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. That's when I woke up. 7 o'clock, I was outside clearing the ice off of our cars. And by about 7:45, the sun had come up high enough. And I mean, it was I could already hear dripping. Things were melting just from the sun rays alone.
Yeah.
And, even when it's cold like this, if you can get direct sun, it's going to melt this stuff off. But that's stopped now.
And the direct sun's important because that's what's hitting the streets in certain areas. Yep. But if you live in an area where there's still some shade and there's no direct sun, even if the sun comes out, because it's not like it's if it's in the 70s, that stuff's going to melt regardless of whether the sun hits it. That ain't happening. And we have another, not a system, but a cold snap coming through this weekend. And I'm looking at that right now, and I'm thinking to myself, Self, are you blanking kidding me?
Yeah, your HVAC's out, brother Chad.
So Saturday, Friday, 33, overnight low 11.
Good.
And then Saturday's highs 24 and the overnight lows 14. So this stuff is going to be around a bit. So watch out, too, when you're walking out there, people.
Friday night, it's going to be 4 degrees.
Oh, that's beautiful. Gorgeous.
Good grief, man.
My dog's never going to poop.
Yes, he will. Just do it in your living room when you're asleep.
Right. You know what? I don't blame him. Right?
No, little fellas, man, they don't like it.
They don't like it.
That.
They don't like it. Big dogs seem to like it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're up above it.
Yeah. Well, they're better.
I find hilarious is watching videos of huskies who are like, it's just pouring down snow and they're out there and their owners are trying to call them in and they're like, no, I'm not coming in.
I love because they'll show other dogs that come in and they're covered and they look a hot mess. Husky comes in, shake once, all of it falls off. It's like, this is the best.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing ever. You're like, no way. I guess there really are dogs meant for the snow.
Yep.
What? Somebody had an ice quake last night?
Yeah, have you heard about that?
2976 said we had an ice quake.
Yeah.
How big was it?
I did a story about that. Where did I find it? Yeah, frost quakes.
Oh, look at that. I had frost quakes for breakfast. Those are like when you go to Walmart and instead of having like Count Chocula, it's like Duke chocolate.
Yeah, they're called cryoseisms.
So Didn't they do that to Ted Williams' head and Disney? Oh, that was cryogenics. My bad.
It happens when rapidly dropping temperatures freeze water in the ground, and as the ice expands, it cracks surrounding soil and rock, creating an explosive sound.
Well, that's what you were talking about the other day about what happens when trees explode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those, yeah, you can hear. It's totally cool.
I'm almost positive that's what happened to my neighbor's tree that fell into our yard that knocked the power line down. Because if you look at the picture, it's just like it split in two and the weaker half fell into our yard.
Yeah.
Weakness. No weakness here. A lot of you chiming in. Your Chow, Fletch says Chow loves the loves the snow. Newfoundland refuses to come in when it snows.
Yeah.
Newfoundlands will never. They're from Newfoundland.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Newfoundland, it's kind of it's a bizarre place, dude. I've been to Newfoundland.
Yeah.
One of my many travels. Take the worst Canadian accent, combine it with the worst Irish accent with people that maybe aren't the sharpest. You've got Newfie, eh?
Are they still polite, though?
Oh, sweet, but just you have no idea what they're saying. I'm like, I don't even think that's English at this point in time. But the ice quake is interesting.
Yeah.
That's
I want to hear an ice quake.
yeah.
Well, maybe I don't.
Well, why not?
Yeah, well, because my power lines are underground.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
want ice quakes.
yeah. That's a good thing. You don't tend to want to put stuff if there's earthquakes and ice quakes underground. That would be a weird situation. So did you guys have a lot of? I mean, in and around you, how much of the power lines in your area are underground?
All of them.
Okay, that's good.
Now, except for the intersections. You get to some intersections on, like either side of my neighborhood. Like you get to there's a highway. It's New Salem Highway. There's some power lines there. But in the neighborhood where I live, there are no power lines.
Okay.
Everything's underground.
That's so cool. That's a smart thing.
I'm telling you, man, like I said, I've been here, we're going on 11 years. The only power outage we ever had was by design. And it was 2022, the rolling blackouts, because TVA was worried that the grid was going to be overrun.
That's not good. Got to do better with the grid. By the way, somebody just sent in the frost quakes. Our good buddy over there at WSMV,
Yeah.
Dan there. Rapidly falling temperature cause underground water to freeze. The new ice expands, putting extra pressure on the surrounding soil and bedrock. Pressure builds until the soil and rock crack cocaine, and the cracking can result in loud booms or shaking.
Thank you, Brother Dan Thomas.
Shaking, whoa.
I got that album.
It's a good album.
It is.
Good album. He was a little bit of a mess at times. I don't know
Yeah,
if you're aware of that.
he had a little thing with cocaine for a while.
Yeah. Wasn't he a cop, right?
Yeah.
He was a Detroit cop?
He was a cop, and he went from that to being a drug addict and a rock star.
I remember Ralph Garman, my buddy, he loved Eddie Money, and he was in an airport in Orange County, California, and he's at the desk talking, and he turns around and he bumps into this guy, and he looks down, and this guy's got a big EM and gold and diamonds, and it was Eddie Money. And I'm like, oh.
He lived here like the last 25, 30 years of his life.
Was he shaking?
Yeah.
He did shake a little bit at the end.
He actually met his wife, KDF. When I worked at KDF, they used to do these shows called One for the Sun, and we would get artists, national artists to play. And he headlined one year, and there was also like a swimsuit pageant that we would do in between acts, and the winner of the pageant ended up being his wife.
Is that so if you win, you get to be his wife?
Yeah, that was the grand prize.
Remember whenever he was on King of Queens?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. As himself. Playing an acoustic set in their living room. Remember Jennifer Grey? Was she on, what was she on? Friends?
No. She was on like 2.5 Men or one of those things where she lived next door and she played herself, but she couldn't get a job anymore because she had her nose done.
That's actually true.
It's true.
She had so much trouble getting work after she had her nose done.
Because nobody believed that she was the Dirty
She looked
Dancing.
so different.
She didn't look anything like she used. It's one of those things too where you see people who get all the plastic surgery and they start to look at Mickey Rourke and stuff. They don't even look like them. They look like a person who's wearing a Mickey Rourke face mask. Like they cut Mickey Rourke's face off. She just had her nose done. And you're like, oh, who's that? She went from being a movie star to couldn't get work.
Yeah, and I remember watching an interview where she was like, I completely regret doing this.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that's too bad.
Yeah. Last night I was watching Family Guy. I know, because I was just sitting, I'm like, and it was the one where now for a realistic Dirty Dancing. And there was the Dirty Dancing. And he's like, you can't put baby in the corner. And the guy's like, yes, I can. She's my daughter. What are you, 38? He goes, I'm 41. And then they arrest him. And then he goes to jail and it's all hungry eyes.
She was, what, 15 in the
She
movie?
was 15. She was 15.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, her dad can.
That's
okay,
right.
settle down there, statutory guy. All right, coming up, it is Hot Take Tuesday. We got your hot takes, oh, baby, and there's in fuego, if you will. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997. All right, kids, let me tell you something about Relief Factor. It's awesome. If you struggle with aches and pains in your joints, especially your muscles, right? It's one of those things where inflammation it's super important. We realize the diets that we have, certain things, and as we age, that hits us. This is where Relief Factor comes in. It focuses on those pathways when it comes to inflammation. So it's got omega-3 fatty acids, resveratrol, all the stuff that's incredible. And you take it, and I'm telling you guys, within days, you're going to feel 1,000 times better, especially if you're sore. You know, even just sometimes sitting all day, you get up and you're like, oh, my legs are sore. Watch how you feel. It's going to give you a pep in your step, and you're going to feel so much better. Right now, when you try, it's a 3-week jumpstart, all right? So it's $19.95, so less than a cup of coffee. You're going to feel the difference. You really are. It's natural. You can take it every single day. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF, and tell them Chad sent you.
All right, drivers, we've got a crash blocking the way. This is on Charlotte Pike right next to I-40. Then in Franklin, we've got some storm damage blocking Lewisburg Pike between Mac Hatcher Boulevard and Church Street. And then in Antioch, Cane Ridge Road, south of Bell Road, got a crash. We've had another shooting involving federal immigration agents, this one in Arizona. And we will give you the very latest on the effort to restore everyone's power and much-needed heat here in Middle Tennessee, coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Chad Benson Show is powered by NCA National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Let's get to it. Hot take, hot take, hot take Tuesday. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. My hot take is TikTok sucks. TikTok went and, first of all, the Americans bought it, and they're playing around with a bunch of crap when it comes to what you can and can't say, and they've already starting to do that. But the algorithms, they changed it. Everybody's algorithms, for whatever reason, things have got, my For You page has turned to crap, right? I'm not getting any of the cool, fun animal videos that I enjoy watching and the funny stuff that makes me smile. Instead, I'm getting some politics, but I can't say anything about politics because they'll get mad at me. And then, you know, I mean, where are my funny cat videos, right? Where's that?
Capybara videos.
Where's my capybara?
Gotta have
capybara,
those.
capybara. I want that. Where's my guy that fights the goats as they whoop his ass as he tries to do it? When he tried to pole vault the goats, that did not work.
The sumo suit one was pretty funny.
Sumo suit one and the other one in a dinosaur suit because you can't see him and he's just dinosaur suit running around and they're just destroying him. And then he gets on because he takes suggestions. He puts on a full suit of armor and he can't move and they're just destroying him. And he's on the ground and they're beating him up. I told my wife, this is why guys don't live as long as we.
Yeah, it's not one goat either. It's a bunch of
several, and they're big and they're pissed. So it's hilarious. Yeah, I want that back. You know what I don't want to see? The crap I'm seeing. And stop sending me the mini dramas because I get sucked into them and waste so much time. All right, Belle, what you got for us?
I'm almost burnt out from saying it. NES needs to learn how to prioritize better. I'll leave it at that.
Bell's had some issues. His car currently is not moving because of the live wire that's living on it. And Bell's too much of a wuss to try to go just move it.
Well, none of that stuff was, quote unquote, top of the list important to me, other than the fact that it's costing me an arm and a leg with Uber, until the guy came to the front door today and, you know, pushed his way through the trees and everything over by the car. And if he had touched it, he would have been he'd been gone.
Yeah. And you were a little mad at 911 too.
Oh, yeah. It should not take 10 minutes under any circumstances. It should take 10 minutes to get a hold of 911.
But if on the night that everything happened, I could see why it would take a long time to get a hold of 911. On a Tuesday morning, it's a few days later. Probably shouldn't take that long to get a hold of them.
It was Sunday afternoon, and that more than anything should have been prioritized to have more people working it. Because if somebody's had a heart attack or somebody's been in an accident where they need an ambulance, 10-minute wait could be life or death. And that's the city's responsibility to not have that kind of a wait.
Yeah. It is a there's a lot of stuff that needs to be improved. I think we recognize that. So thumbs down, NES for Bell there. And finally over to Ken. Ken, what you got for us?
All right, drivers. If your car sheds ice chunks on the highway, you're not a driver. You're a missile launcher. Clean your roof and your hood, or accept that you're the reason someone behind you now needs a new windshield and possibly a change of underwear. Because trust me, when you're tooling 70 miles an hour down I-24 toward Nashville, and all of a sudden you see the entire top of a box truck in front of you, a wall of ice come off of it, your underwear is in danger of being soiled. Oh. And that's the least of what can happen to you.
So you have to ask yourself the question, would you rather have your windshield destroyed, or would you rather soil yourself? Oh.
Well, I've got insurance, so I'd have to say the windshield.
Do you have pants insurance?
Don't have pants insurance.
Everybody needs pants insurance.
But seriously, folks, you got to clean off that hood and your roof, man.
I'm always like, I'm always curious when you pull up and somebody's got ice, like chunks of it, big. You didn't think? Like, if that was any other thing, if some just crapped all over your car with big chunks, like, you'd move it off. But not the ice, huh?
Not the ice.
Well, that is interesting. Apparently, you hate America. You're not a patriot. Trump's all, you're not a patriot.
You're not a patriot if you've got ice on your hood.
You want the terrorists to win. It's my favorite when he does that. All right, coming up, big lawsuit going on in L.A. We'll talk a bit about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Menzo, Servertel, 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. We are still tracking the situation just outside Tucson, Arizona, where one person is hospitalized in critical condition after getting shot during an incident involving Border Patrol early today. Power in Middle Tennessee remains the top issue. About 200,000 without electricity. Overnight temperatures plummeting into the single digits. Tennessee's winter storm now claiming 5 lives, according to Monday night's update from state health officials. The fatality spanned 4 counties, including 2 here in Davidson County, though they're not giving us details. They do tell us a 66-year-old Haywood County man died after a heart attack while shoveling snow at his home. Major tech companies like Meta and YouTube facing a lawsuit from a user who says she became addicted to social media at a young age. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky.
The California case is expected to last about 6 weeks and will feature testimony from major Silicon Valley figures like Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. It's one of several bellwether cases, which are designed to inform the judgments or settlements of similar cases against social media firms. There's about 1,500 of them at the state level and another grouping at the federal level. The bellwether cases for those will be heard in the spring.
Yeah, TikTok and Snapchat settled ahead of the start of the trial for undisclosed terms. The other tech companies say they're taking strides to make sure kids don't get the negative effects of social media, and they say that they can't be held responsible for content posted by other users. Long-term Florida Congressman Vern Buchanan announcing today he will not seek re-election. The Republican who serves as vice chair of the powerful House Ways and Means Committee is the 28th member of his party to bow out this cycle. His departure continues a larger trend of turnover that could challenge GOP efforts to maintain control of the chamber. However, his seat is firmly conservative. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. You know what I miss on my TikTok right now that I'm having trouble getting back?
What is that?
Guy that goes and says, ma'am, your front yard's a mess.
Oh, man, you're not getting that guy?
No. You know what? I don't have any money to pay you, Sonny. He's like, don't worry. I'm going to use your front lawn to get millions of views and make way more money than you could ever pay. I wish they were just honest like that.
There's a guy in Florida that I watch on YouTube who does the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems pretty genuine about trying to help people. But every time he says, I'm going to do it for free, I'm thinking, no, you're not. You're going to monetize the hell out of this content.
Oh, just so nice little bit of Sonny just went out there. But you know what I'm always amazed at is how many neighbors complain.
Yes.
So you're pissed that their lawn's a mess. Then some dude comes over, films it, fixes it up, makes it look great, and then you're like, I'm going to call the police on you.
Or the city gets pissed off because we were about to get a fine out of this person, and you ruined the money for us.
That one lady that the guy went, her husband died years ago. They were fining her. They were doing all this stuff. He's like, ma'am, and she started crying, and he did the back and the front. And then they raised a ton of money for her, like on a GoFundMe, because the cops showed up. Like, what are you doing? I love when they say that. What am I doing? I'm standing here with a lawnmower. What do you think I'm doing? Based on that right there, sir, turn your badge in.
The weed eater is something I use when I rob banks.
I'm just getting ready to take off as we go. But I'm missing that guy. I'm not getting that guy.
I got to check now because I like watching that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
I mean, I can't stop watching.
You know, it's satisfying.
Yes.
Because, we see it, 60 seconds or a minute.
Yeah.
What it takes him hours of the day to do.
Yeah.
But it's great when you see there are people where they'll go and cut all this stuff down and they're like, I didn't know I had statues. There's a pool?
Right.
It is pretty kind of inspiring when you see how hard some of these are 2-day jobs of them doing 6-8 hours a day.
Yeah. I mean, they're out there because, they go, it's bad in the front, and they'll go out back, and these things are 12 feet overgrown, and now he's bringing in other stuff. And you're like, yeah, this isn't a good look. But I'm just curious as to why people would be upset.
Because they're douchebags.
Yeah, they are douchebags. There's plenty of them out there. There's plenty of them. I mean, it's not a douchebag-free world. We'd like it to be, but it's not. It isn't, kids. I hate to break it to you. I do. But that's what I'm missing. Because my entire thing has been reset. And I was just looking on there going, okay, what do I have? It sends me high school basketball. What? I don't like regular basketball. Why do I want to watch high school basketball?
You like it and you'll take it.
Yeah,
And you better not say anything bad about it either.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you want to start getting peewee basketball in your feed too.
But a lot of people are complaining that they're not only their algorithms, and I'll say this for me, I'll go right now and just take a look at mine. I have one video with 0 views, and there were several that I tried to post last night, and it told me I can't, and it has to do with ICE, and it has to do with, they're saying if it's the administration, if it's Israel, if it's Epstein, if it's ICE, DHS, they're either, if you get it up, they're crushing it down as far as the throttling it down so they're not getting views, even people with millions of followers. And see, that's always my frustration with the social media and the influencers, and it's cool because, that's part of what we do. But the reality is it's always a crapshoot because you don't control the algorithms. So, there's months where, when I post on all of them, I'll have a video that'll get, on my Facebook and everything else between it, like 50, 100,000 views. And then the next month, same kind of video gets nothing. And you're like, well, you have to be a master at figuring out how to do the algorithm. I'm like, oh, okay. They've tweaked it a bit. Why? Why'd you tweak it? Because
trying to hide something.
Trying to hide the stuff. That's why the lawsuit's going on. That lawsuit, I feel like if you are going to defend it, which you have to, the reality of what's coming after. There's over 1,000 lawsuits out there. So if you guys aren't listening, this may be the biggest lawsuit they're saying since, big tobacco. Like, that's how big it is. And the addiction to social media. And we are. I mean, I did a story earlier today, abstinence, where people are trying to go app-free for a day or two. And there are people that are like, I watched, social media like 40 hours last week.
Man.
And you're thinking, like somebody said, that's a job with no benefits or pay.
Yeah.
Like if your job is social media, that's one thing. But no, it's not. And all of us, I mean, you go and look at your report. It's there. It's embarrassing. It is for me. I should see if I can find mine. Last month, it was horrible. Last week, I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? So stupid little mini dramas. Stop sending them to me because I'm going to watch them.
I'm getting hooked on OG Mr. Charlie.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, man. He's the dude that puts on the big old afro.
Yeah.
And he dances.
He dances around
70s R&B, but he's got his cell phone and his keys in his belt.
Yeah, that guy is straight up. He's got the cell phone, right? You're cool beans when you got the cell phone.
It's as big as a catcher's mitt.
It's like one of those old cell phones where you pull the thing up. I probably was on last week. Well, way too much. I mean, it's almost like one of those things. Like, I don't know if I really
Instagram says I was on an average of an hour and 22 minutes a day.
A day.
Where do you find that stuff at?
A day.
Like in settings? Or?
Think about that.
Settings and activity.
I mean,
Instagram.
When you go there and you look at how long you're on, it is, I would assume myself, probably 20 plus hours a week when you add everything up, if not more. I mean, 22 and a half hours last week. That's all the social media. Some of it was for work.
Mine on Instagram is 5 minutes.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I think it was that one recipe I found.
That's not bad. Sandra said elementary school basketball's even better. Yeah, that's fun. I'm not going to lie. There's a portion of me that likes to watch because I used to get soccer, right? And it would be great. Like I'd get cool soccer. But I get Sunday League English soccer, and if you don't know what that is, just know it's the most violent thing in the world.
Really?
With guys who are out of shape, who, if they could, they'd be drinking during the game and take it way too seriously. And then I would get like the women's soccer league, and I look, the announcers, I'm not going to be mean, but I'm going to be mean, so just deal with this. There'd be a shot from 40 yards that anybody could save, and it would go like right through her hands, like, oh my God, a rocket! And I'm like, wow, dude, you're selling that. Like you are selling. Like, how did she live? Like Charlie would have knocked that away. But, oh, goodness me, yeah. Like basketball, especially elementary school, is hilarious. Especially if they make a play on 10-foot nets. No matter how hard you throw it, it ain't getting there. Jason says, the reason I'm getting political stuff is your phone is listening to you. Well, that's true. We already know that.
And they're watching us, too.
They are.
That's why I stopped dancing in my underwear in the living room.
Not me. I do it all the time. What do you think of that, China? China, what do you think of that? Think you're coming for us? I don't think so. But I want to see if they're going to, first of all, how do you prove? So you allowed your daughter at like 10 or 11 to get on social media.
Yep.
Okay. And I tell this to, I have some friends who are like, my kid's not getting a phone till they're 37. I'm like, oh, that's way to put them ahead of the game. You have to have some idea of what's going on and how to maneuver things because we're not, unless something weird happens and we all become Amish.
It's here with us.
It's here with us, and you better learn to adapt with it. But you need to be able to talk to your kids. And how do you convince them that your kid had depression and struggled because of social media, and they made it addictive. And that's how did we not have kids that were depressed and had issues prior to social media?
I know this is absolutely different in the context of its impact because of the algorithm and the interaction you're having with it. But these kind of arguments have been around since the dawn of like radio.
Yes.
You know, the parents going, you're listening to too much radio. You're going to turn out to be an idiot. Or, you know, you're on the phone too much or you're watching too much TV.
Yes.
You're getting possessed by the devil.
Yeah.
By the devil.
You've been on the internet too long. So this kind of thing has always been there in everybody's lives in one form or another. This one just happens to have a larger footprint on you.
Yeah, it does. Well, and the thing is, you would never, as a child, you were never going to get 7 hours a day in front of the TV.
Yeah, or on the phone.
Or on the phone. And the fact is, I think they said the average person spends 5 hours a day on social media and the internet. And some of that's work, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking today, so let's just say we didn't do this job. I'm like, would I keep any of my social media? I'm like, outside of maybe a friend thing, like Instagram because it's hilarious. Twitter'd be gone in a heartbeat. Like, I don't even care about Twitter.
Twitter's just a cesspool.
It's a cesspool.
As Matt says.
If you want to just go say hi to somebody and they'll tell you to F off. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know?
I really liked your post. Shut up.
Shut up. You're the worst, Nazi, or whatever. You're like, okay. Instagram, I would keep it for the funny, but I would just have something that had absolutely nothing to do with me or politics or anything at all.
Yeah, in this business, we pretty much got to have it.
We got to have it, right? Like we got to have it. Oh, even the Amish, that's right. They can get a cell phone. So they're probably having some serious issues.
I need to get some of their recipes.
You know. Yeah, they do. They got some good recipes. You ever follow any of them? They got some.
I'm going to have to start following them.
Yeah. I got onto Amish talk about 2 months ago. It was rather interesting. It's one of those weird things where you're like, she's kind of hot. How you doing?
I eschew the Amish for the Quakers instead.
How you doing? That's a nice outfit. It's pretty cool.
So there's the Amish, the Mennonites.
By Mennonite.
And the Quakers.
The Quakers.
The Quakers. What do the Quakers do?
Eat a lot of oatmeal.
What's the difference?
Are there Quakers?
Yes.
Oh.
The Quakers are, okay, so the Mennonites, they're kind of more modern, right? They can drive trucks and stuff. We used to have them by our house. We had a Mennonite folks, and they would sell their bread, and you could swing by, and you could even Venmo them and stuff. It was so bizarre.
Awesome.
But they had the full outfits on, right? Like they were cosplaying it. It was going real. But I don't know what the Quakers do. So that's interesting. The Quakers. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt's here.
Brother Matt
Matt's all like, Matt, he's got the big, he looks like he just stepped out of a Carhartt commercial.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt, how are you? And he just threw water on me. So there's that. Because he's magic. That's how he rolls. Coming up, Matt is going to be here, and maybe some of you guys will tell us the difference between the Quakers, the Amish, and the Mennonites. All straight edge. Chad Benson's just Super Talk 98.7. All right, guys, I know what's going on. A Quaker, modern, activist, inward-focused faith. Mennonites, traditional faith with flexible lifestyles. The older ones...
Flexible.
Yeah, flexible. Little swingers. The older ones, kind of like the Amish. The younger ones, they can have cars and they have stuff. The Amish, obviously, we know about. Here's an interesting thing. Mr. Nixon, the president, former president,
Quaker?
he was a Quaker.
He was a Quaker.
Well, I'll be.
I knew he was a Quaker.
Yeah, he was a Quaker. That's not a good thing, by the way, if you're like...
Peaceful people.
Yeah, except for the part where war and stuff with him.
Yeah, I suppose. They were, I think I've read somewhere where there was a slight concern that as president of the United States, he would be weak on those types of things.
But he's like, nope, I got Henry Kissinger and a bunch of other people. We'll do all kinds of stuff.
Well, he didn't get us in all of that. John F. Kennedy did.
Yeah, I know that, but you know what I mean. Let's be real. Kissinger did a lot of things. He turned it. He did a lot of things, a lot of wheeling and dealing, the old Kissinger, with some of the stuff.
Well, but yeah, let's not absolve Kennedy just because he got his head blown off of getting us into the Vietnam War.
Can they all get us into something? Who doesn't get us into something?
Oh, who doesn't get us into something?
Who was the last one to not get us into something?
Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge, he believed that the business of America was business.
Yeah.
Took a very laissez-faire attitude. I liked old Calvin Coolidge is my favorite president.
Is he?
Absolutely, 100%. He believed that the federal government served best that served absolutely least. The federal government was there only when absolutely necessary.
I'm more of a Taft guy because that was funny.
Well, Taft was a big old fella.
He was a big old fella.
Taft reportedly created the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah.
Because he was so fat he couldn't sit in that little bitty seat for so long he had to get up and stretch.
Is that true?
That's what they say. Is that he was at a baseball game and when the president got up, everybody got up. Because that's what you did, and the seats were very narrow, and he had to get up and
And again,
jiggle his fat around.
baseball is a lot of folklore that's all lies.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's
like
probably
everybody's
not true.
like, who invented baseball?
Abner Doubleday
Never invented baseball.
Nope.
Biggest lie told by some other weird dude who was a mental patient who killed his wife, and everybody's like, okay, sounds good. Never. He was the first person was it Appomattox when he fired a shot, wasn't he?
I think what Crispus Attucks?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? That's
he fired. I think he fired one of the first shots of the Civil War.
Abner
Doubleday.
That was not. Maybe it was Abner Doubleday.
Yeah,
I don't know.
not the crazy guy.
I thought you Crispus Attucks. I think he was the one that started the American Revolution.
So, well, there you go.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know how old he was.
We're taking a cultural tour around war in America.
That's okay. And the Quakers.
So you said the Mennonites are
they're modern. So the older Mennonites are very much like the Amish, but the newer Mennonites they live in regular houses, electricity, cars, phones, all of that stuff.
Would you call them flexible?
They're flexible.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the pineapples in the grocery store.
Pineapples in the grocery store. Yeah,
upside down pineapples.
Bye, Mennonite. They live in the villages,
but they don't show their ankles.
They don't. Yeah, you can have some. Just Abe or whatever their names are. They have what? It's always like Jebediah, Abe,
Zachariah.
Somebody's listening right now. And they're like, "Don't tell the Amish." Go ahead.
That's what I used. I used to say that the two people that I can insult with impunity on the radio are the Amish and the deaf.
Oh,
right.
Somebody would go tell a deaf person.
But then that's on them. That's on them. That's not on me.
Matt is a.
That's not on me. All right?
Yeah.
It's on.
And then you're going to be like, it was lost in translation.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said at all.
Yeah, you
not
said
that you can hear me. No, I said different things.
Isn't it hilarious? Every year there's always one person that's caught that has the balls enough to stand up on one of the stages and do fake sign language as if nobody's going to notice it.
It's funny. I played a deaf guy in a college production, it was a one-act play, and I never learned sign language. I just made it up, and I just did. I did the same, and nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
I'm sure if a deaf person showed up, he's saying nothing. He's saying gobbledygook. This play doesn't make any sense.
Maybe this play doesn't make any sense. It's a poorly written play.
Yeah, look, I'm just signing what the guy wrote.
What are you talking about today?
We'll do a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of folks without power, and we'll continue to cover that. Governor Bill Lee's coming on the show today. So,
the spaceman.
That'll be good.
Oh, that was a baseball player.
Yeah, the governor's coming on, and we'll have a couple of other folks. National Weather Service, National Electric Service. Get it right, Murphy. Will tell us how much power's out.
Can you figure out how they can get the electric power line off Bell's car? Because he's very upset.
No, I'm still working on my cable. Once I get done with my cable, I'm on Bell's car.
Okay, cool.
So,
there we go. Bell, it's never happening.
Yeah.
Just drive it away. Good luck to you, brother. Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one tomorrow. One Hit Wonder Wednesday.